welcome to the Narrowing Path, walking the spiritual walk. Welcome back to the daily reading of the James Allen Meditation, and it is January 16th, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this one has to say and what it's got in store for us. This will be fresh for you and fresh for me, so you'll get my genuine reaction and responses and associations, really, to the reading. So I will go ahead and let's get started. January 16th. There is no greater happiness than to be occupied with good, whether it be good thoughts, good actions, or good employment. For every good thing is fraught with bliss, and evil cannot enter the heart or the house that is tenanted by all that is good. The mind whose doors are guarded by good shuts out unhappiness, as well as unsentryed garrison shuts out a foe. Unhappiness can only enter through unguarded doors, and even then its power over the tenant is not complete unless it find him occupied with evil. Not to entertain evil thoughts, not to do bad actions, not to engage in worthless or questionable employment, but to resort to good in all things. This is the source of supreme happiness. Pure happiness is the rightful and happy condition of the soul. All things are orderly and sequential, being governed by the law of causation. What a great follow-up to yesterday's. Yesterday's was about grief and how grief is really a time of growth and transformation and reflection. And this one's about just happiness and being good and doing good in the world. You know, there is no greater happiness than to be occupied with good, whether it's good thoughts, good actions, or good employment. You know, what more is there than those three things, really? I mean, good thoughts and good actions could probably cover it, but good employment as well. Purposeful employment gives a sense of fulfillment that a lot of things wouldn't. And a lot of people are looking for that sense of fulfillment as well. And I think that's an important thing to call out right there, is good employment and purposeful employment brings fulfillment and contentment, and brings, as this would say, happiness. You know, and then the good thoughts and the good actions. The good actions are usually initiated by good thoughts. Sometimes it's the desire to change that we force our actions differently, but those aren't usually permanent without the thought change behind it. And I think that's an important thing to remember. So good thoughts. That's the beginning of all of this. You know, the good thoughts that we get to have, the spiritual things that are aligned with the living a good and righteous life, like honesty and integrity, courage, hope, faith, forgiveness, love, service, discipline, these types of things. Those are the things that we get to sit here and live our lives by. And they can guide our thoughts, guide our hearts. And it'll grow into these good actions and this good employment too, you know. And to be able to have those things incorporated into your life on a daily basis really provides a good insurance as to keeping out negativity and, as this would say, evil as well. The mind whose doors are guarded by good shuts out unhappiness as well. Shuts out unhappiness as well as, shuts out unhappiness as the well-sentryed garrison shuts out the foe. The mind occupied by good thoughts is comparing it to the sentries guarding the city. You know, It keeps the walls intact. It keeps the barriers in place to keep the evil out, to keep the negativity out, keep that unhappiness out. Unhappiness can only enter through unguarded doors, and even then its power over the tenant is not complete unless it find him occupied with evil. So even if it does get in, even if it does enter into your thought process, this unhappiness or evil, or this unhappiness more so, as long as we are contemplating good things, as long as we have a desire and it's in our hearts to be good, not evil, not selfish, it won't take hold and take root at the end of the day. That's an important point to differentiate too, and to know that it will pass. These things do pass. Not to entertain evil thoughts, not to do bad actions, not to engage in worthless or questionable employment, but to resort to good in all things. This is the source of supreme happiness. Think good, act good, do good. At the end of the day, it sounds pretty simple. There's so many people that are looking for this grandiose formula or scheme, or some are even looking for a simple nugget of truth or wisdom to just provide them that happiness. But when they hear something like that, it can't be that easy, right? As human beings, we like to complicate things, and it's certainly been my experience, and I believe that wholeheartedly from my experience, my own personal, and then the experience of others that's been shared with me as well. That one of our favorite things to do is be complicated. So to just know that, think good, do good, or think good, act good, and do good is the source of supreme happiness. And that last line it closes with is that pure happiness is the rightful and happy condition of the soul. And the rightful or the natural state for the soul, it's saying, is to be happy. And I think there's some truth in that. I really think there is. So I question that at times, to be honest with you, because it's human nature, I think, to be selfish, and selfishness does not lead to happiness. But I think the soul of an individual, when we rise above that animalistic level, is happiness, is joy. When we do right and we live right, our default mode is happy, joyous, free. What a blessing that is. So thanks for jumping on with me again today. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow's reading. And I appreciate the time you take out to listen to this. So until next time, thanks.